Hello everyone. This video will talk about the process of converting the units of measurement in either both in the metric system or in the English system of measurement or the combination of both. Okay, so we are going to convert now from one unit to another. But let us have a three different agreements so that we could have a singular understanding on these processes. Number one, we are just going to use the given conversion factors found in our module. Again, let's say, why do we only use the conversion factors found in our module and not any conversion factors found in the internet? We need to come up with a singular understanding. We need to come up with a process using a common conversion factors, because if we're going to use different conversion factors found in other references, then we might have different results later. That is why, for the purpose of just understanding this video and this lesson, let us just try to use the conversion factors found in our module. Okay. Second, if there are since we are just using found in our the conversion factors found in our module, not be stressed by, sir, why is it that your conversion factor is not the same as found as what we could actually found in the internet. Okay, so not be stressed about that one. We are just again using the conversion factors found in our module, so we will have one understanding. And they are just actually approximated conversion factors. So if we're going to look at the internet, say for example the conversion of kilograms to pounds, you might see 2.21, you might see 2.205 or 2.2046, so on and so forth. But let's just try to come up with we use rather the conversion factors found in our modules so that we could just have a singular understanding of this concept, not be stressed about that one. Nevertheless, they will just be more or less the same. And the third agreement is that we need to round off our final results. Again, final results only in two decimal places. Do not round off the conversion factors nor the results during the processes, because we might reach a result different from what it's supposed to be. So let's just try to uh, do the process without rounding off, and as soon as we are now sure with the final result, let's round it off into two decimal places so that we could actually present it is a singular in a singular concept. Again, the purpose for these agreements is to come up with a singular understanding. Do not be stressed about different results that you could do, such as placing the problem in the internet or looking at the references. Again, let us try to come up with those agreements so that we could have a singular understanding of this concept. Let's try to talk about number one. Number one is the conversion of 3.4 kilograms to centigram. Let me just increase this space here for a while. All right. So we are going to convert kilograms to centigrams. If you're going to use the internet for this, you can simply click, not click, input this in, say, let's say Google, and then enter it, and you will get the number of centigrams for 3.4 kilograms. But the purpose for understanding the conversion of these units, we are going to use here the process found in our module, which is in the form of dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis uses conversion factors and the process of either multiplication and division to come up with the converted result. So how do we do this in number one? Before we could before we could come up with the number of centigrams from kilogram, let us try to pass through kilograms to gram, and then from that we will have grams to centigram. Okay. Again, we will use this because we would like to pass through grams to have a better understanding. Again, other references and even the internet could easily give us the number of centigrams for 3.4 kilograms. But again, the purpose for this is to come up with understanding on the processes. So you could also check the conversion factors that would come up from kilograms to grams and grams to centigrams in the you can check the previous video for that. But we all know that 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1000 grams. That's 1000. And 1 gram is equivalent to 100 centigrams. Okay, this equivalence here will now be used as conversion factors from using the dimensional analysis and converting the given to the intended result. So let us try to have here 3.4 kilograms. Okay, and then we need to reach a situation where we would like to get the number of centigrams. To do that, we are just simply going to multiply the given with these conversion factors here. Take note that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. When two expressions are equal, we can just come up with one fractional form using these values. And don't forget that when we are going to divide equal expressions, they're just equal to 1. Just like 1 million over 1 million. Tama? 5 divided by 5. 2 divided by 2. They're just equal to 1. So basically, we're just multiplying here an expression equal to 1. And what is that expression? So let's try to use conversion of kilogram to gram first. If you will say 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams, again, this is already good because we are just multiplying equal to 1. This could be equal, this could be expressed as equal to 1, and then we are multiplying only an expression equal to 1 to the given. So nothing is changed, has been changed here. We could actually do this, but we need to come up with an expression wherein we can convert or remove the kilograms now and transform it to grams. But if you're going to do this, the kilograms here will not be canceled out. In short, we need to reciprocate this. Reciprocate, simply interchange, we will have here 1,000 grams over 1 kilogram. Not worry, again, because they are just, again, equal to each other. And by doing that, we can now remove kilograms here. And from kilograms, we move to gram. But we are not yet done because what we wanted is centigrams, not gram. To complete that, we can multiply here again the conversion factor for gram to centigram. So you have here an expression in such a way that we could cancel grams. So 1 gram is on the denominator, and you have here 1,000, rather 100 centigram. By doing that, we can remove here grams. Take note of what is the unit left here. We don't have kilograms anymore. We don't have grams. This is our entire unit, which is similar to this. That's the correct process. The next step here is just simply using the multiplication of fractions. We all know that 3.4 can be written as 3.4 over 1. So 3.4 is now a numerator. So we will have here 3.4, sorry, that's point, 3.4 times 1,000 times 100 all over 1 times 1 times 1. Take note that there are no more kilograms, no more grams here, only centigram unit. And then only multiply the numerators. So you have 3.4 and we have 5 zeros here. But to neutralize the decimal, we can move it here and have only 4 zeros. So you have 3, 4, and 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, the reason for having 4 zeros rather than 5 is because 3.4 is in decimal notation. By moving one decimal here, we could remove 1 zero as a process of equivalence. All over 1 times 1 times 1, or simply 1, and unit is centigrams. So the final answer is that for 3.4 kilograms, we have 340,000, let me write it here, 340,000 centigrams. You might want to check this out in placing this in your Google and asking for the equivalence. But this is the process using dimensional analysis for item number 1. As for item number 2, we would like to convert 11 kilometers or kilometers, sorry, 11 kilometers to miles. And there is a conversion factor from kilometers to miles automatically. But rather than using that, let me try to use the longer process and just compare it later on using that process. Okay? Because what I'm talking here is again, we need to practice the process of dimension analysis. So let's try to come up with a longer method. So we'll have 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters, right? And then from meters, let's move to centimeters. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. This is now a conversion of a unit from metric system to a unit in the English system. And aside from, again, what I said earlier about the conversion factor of kilometers to miles, the simplest connection between the measurement of length for English and metric system is between centimeters to inches, because 2.54 centimeters is equal to 1 inch. Again, I'm using here the longer method just to express that we could actually solve this not with even without using the direct conversion factor of kilometers to miles. And from inches, you have 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. Okay, this would be a little bit longer. Sorry for that. Extend it here. Not worry. And then you have 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. And finally, we could actually come up with yards to miles. Right? 1,760 yards is equal to 1 mile. It's a little bit long, not a little bit, it's really long. But anyway, our goal here is to practice the processes. So let us try to come from kilometers to miles using this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 conversion factors. Let's start with our process here. So we have 11 kilometers times, we have here, make sure that the kilometers is found in the denominator. So 1 kilometer is equal to, that's 1,000. Sorry for that, it's 1,000. I mentioned 1,000 earlier. 1,000 meters times, another conversion factor here, 1 meter is 100 centimeters times, this is now the simplest form of the relationship of the unit of measurements for length for metric and the English system. It's between 2.54 centimeters is 1 inch. Okay, I sorry. Still multiply. You have here 12 inches, so we could cancel inches and 1 foot. Okay, let's connect this one. So kilometers, remove meters, centimeters, inches, so inches here. And continue. Times, we have here per 3 feet, you have 1 yards, or 1 yard rather. And then finally, you have the conversion factor for 1,760 yards, and then we have 1 mile. Remove this, feet, yard, yard. So the final unit will be miles. Okay, and then again, 11 is 11 over 1. So this is a very long process, but let's just again do this to come up with an understanding. So multiply all numerators and then multiply all denominators. So you have here 11 times 1,000. That's 1,000 times 100 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. So I may not place it anymore. All over 1 times 1 times 1. And we have here 2.54 times 12 times 3 times 1760. And the unit would become miles. Okay? You may use the calculators there just for guidance. And we could actually come up with a result. So the numerator here is equal to 11 times 1000 times 100, which is actually 1,100,000. You have five zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All over the product of the denominator, 2.54 times 12 times 3 times 1760. Okay, we have 1760 here. Is equivalent to 160,934.4, and you have your miles. Okay, and simply try to compute its equivalence. So you have 1,100,000 divided by 160,934.4. And you will come up with 6 point. This is the result. Okay. 83508, so on and so forth, miles. Yan. Okay. I am placing here the extended value so that we could be guided later on the on our agreement earlier. Our agreement earlier is not to round off in the process. That's why it's still 934.4 in the denominator. But since our result here, this is already the final, let's try now to round off to two decimal places. You have 6.80. The next value is 5. So this is approximately, approximately 6.84 miles. Okay, so this is the number of miles for 11 kilometers or kilometers. So you have approximately 6.84 miles. Okay, this is the longer version of using all conversion factors found in our module. If some of you will use the conversion factor found in the internet, we're in, this is still number 2, okay? Not be confused with this. Conversion factor found in the internet is that one, mm, uh, 1 kilometers, or it's actually 1.61 kilometers is equal to 1 mile. Okay, that's its conversion factor found in the internet. So we could just simply use that 11 kilometers times. So you have here 1.61 kilometers, 1 mile here. So we can cancel this out, and you will only have the result here 11 times 1 and 1.61, and you have miles. If we're going to do that, I mean, compute that rather, you will get 6.83. 6.83, round off into two decimal places, approximately. Look at the results, okay? Look at the results for using the longer version and the direct relationship, okay? There is a difference between the hundredths digit. So 6.84, 6.83. It is because 1.61 is also not exact. It's actually more or less 1.60 something. Okay, so that is why rather than uh, using this process, we could actually just use the longer one. So it's up to you. which actually we will use, because let us try to use the better, because it's actually it came from, okay, this 1.61. This came from, sorry, it took a very long time for number two. This is actually 1.0, I remember, 1.60934 approximated kilometers is equal to 1 mile. If you will use this, more or less, you will get 6.84. But for this one, what would I be accepting is actually this result here of the longer method, not this one, because again, we rounded off this, and that's why there is a big difference here. But if you're going to use this, much better. But what these are the conversion factors found in our module. So as an agreement earlier, we're just going to use this rather than these relationships here. Okay. So number three is more or less similar to number two, but we have cut out already kilometers and then miles here. We already have meters to yards. These relationships here, let me encircle this: meter, okay, meter to centimeter, centimeter to inches, inches to foot, and feet to yards. These are the conversion factors that we will be using here. So for number three, you have 4 meters. That's 4 meters times, you have 1 meter, 100 centimeters times centimeter. You have 2.54 centimeter is 1 inch times 12 inches is 1 foot, and then times you have 3 feet, and we have 1 yard. So meters to yards. Even if you can see conversion factors of meters to yard in the internet, let's just simply use this to improve our understanding. So we could cancel this out: meters, centimeters, inches, foot, foot or feet in plural form. So we'll have the result: 4 times 100 times 1 times 1 times 1. So no need for that. All over, again, this is all over 1. So 1 times 1, you have 2.54 times still here, and you have 12, and you have your 3. And then this would become yards now. That's 400 all over. Multiply 2.54 times 12 times 3, you will get 91.44. And the final result here is 400 divided by 91.44. You will get approximately, in two decimal places, 4.37 yards. Yeah. Here's the result for number three. So number one rather, number one is for mass. Number two and three are for length. Okay, measurement of length. Number four and number five are for mass. Let's try to convert 20 st. Okay, if you don't know what st means, that's stone. Stone is equivalent to, okay, that's not first. That's one stone is equal to 14. That's 14. Sorry, 14 pounds. Okay. Why is it that my handwriting is not that good? Let me write 14 pounds. Okay. And then we could connect. Let's just use 2.2. It's the approximation, and most probably most of the time used as a conversion factor for kilograms to pounds. Okay. We have other situations uses 2.21. Let's just use 2.2. And then from kilograms to grams, we know that 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Okay. So let's use all of this. here. So you have pounds times you have here, sorry, 2.2 pounds is 1 kilogram. And then times 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. Cancel all units, stones, pounds, kilograms. We have here 20 times 14 times 1000 all over 1 times 2.2 times 1 is just simply 2.2 in grams. So that's 20 times 14 times 1000 is equal to 280,000 all over 2.2 grams divided by 2.2. So you have approximately in two decimal places 127,272.73 because this is terminate non-terminating 727,272 rounded off to two decimal places. You have this value. So this is the number of grams for 20 stones. Okay. And finally, you have 24 CT. CT is actually carats to kilograms. We could convert it by passing through grams. Carats is actually a unit of measurement, okay, for mass. So we have the relationship that you have 1 carat is equal to zero point 0.2 grams. And again, 1000 grams is 1 kilogram. So let's try to convert this. You have 24 carats times 1 carat is zero point 0.2 grams times 1000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. And then cancel, 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 cancel. So your result would become a product of 24 and zero point 0.2 to be divided by 1000. You have here kilograms. So 24 times zero point 0.2 is 4.8 over 1000 kilograms. So 4.8 divided by 1000 is 0.0048 kilograms. Okay. Let me just add here a additional understanding. Okay. Yes, we did discuss earlier that we agreed that we could round off our answers into two decimal places. But if we're going to round this off into decimal places, we will have a zero value, right? So if situations like this will occur, let's just consider this as a final result. Or you may want to convert this into the scientific notation. We already discussed scientific notation in the first grading by moving the decimal notation here, 1, 2, 3, and you will have 4.8 times 10 to the power of negative 3 because you moved to the right kilograms. Okay, so we could accept the scientific notation or simply this. Don't round this off again because this will become 0 and it will actually nullify our answers here. So 24 carats is 0.0048 kilograms or 4.8 times 10 to the power of negative 3 kilograms. So these are actually the processes under the dimensional analysis. This actually looks too long, but that's the concept here. We need to understand how conversion units takes place. Okay. In this video, we talked about measurement of mass and measurement of length. So for the next video, we'll have two different sets of measurements to convert under dimensional analysis. Thank you very much for watching. Please review this video from time to time. Goodbye.